Peace, peace. This is Agula Ra, and today, I just wanted to, do a video on talking about working with the air element, right? So, and how you can use it in a more of in a metaphysical sense, because we use air all the time. But when you know how to use it for your benefit, you get more of a advantage, right? So, what is air? Dealing with air, um, we all in school, we learned about uh, nitrogen or oxygen, you know, actually makes air, right? And without air, not like I said, nothing will be able to survive, right? What are some of the things that we use air in a physical sense? If you have a flat tire, you would actually, put air in the tire. Also, if you're having a birthday party or, something with a celebration and you have balloons, you will blow your own breath inside the balloon, right? For some people who, may be in critical condition and they have a respirator and they use this respirator to give them air for them to keep them stabilized, being able to breathe, right? And, if you're washing your clothes, you may hang it out on a clothing line, or you may have it, a dryer, which give cold air, which give hot air. So all these different aspects of air we use on a daily basis, and we can't see air, but we can feel it. But in colder weather, when you was younger, you used to be in your car or whatever, or go into a window, and then you would blow your breath on it, or sometimes you would see the smoke or the gas come out your mouth and it fogs up the window. So in a way, you can see air from a gas that's coming from your breathing, right? So let's look at it in a astrological sign. The astrological signs, you have Gemini, you have Libra, you have an Aquarius, right? And those particular zodiac signs um, are the air element. And if you ever had in contact with air signs, you would know them as being very talkative. They honest. They can be witty with their words. They plays a big part in our civilization. When things is out of order, usually they'd be the one that always speak up about a situation, right? And then sometimes, in the negative aspect of it, they could be they could be dishonest. They can be gullible at sometimes. At sometimes, right? Now, taking it back, when you think about the aspect of Gemini, Gemini are the master communicators. They are the thinkers. They are more of the mental, dealing with the mental state, or the thinkers, right? That's why if you ever communicated with a Gemini, they're very witty with their words, or it's almost as if they can pull words out of thin air. See what I'm saying? They are the thinkers. They are the one who can pull words down as they speaking, right? You have that aspect. And also you have the aspect of dealing with Libra, right? When you think about Libra, you know, you think about balance. You think about the Libra scale, right? If you look at the human body, you have eyes, you have your hands, you have kidneys, you have lungs, you have feet, right? And in order to walk, you gotta have 2 feet for you to walk. So in a sense, they bring balance. And with them, um, if there's ever a situation that's unclear and there's a lot of chaos going on, they would be more so the one who brings balance or bring peace in their environment, right? They are, like I said, they are the ones that's balanced and they want to bring peace. And then the last one we have, what, Aquarius, right? Now, Aquarius would be like, I would say they would be like the innovators. When it comes with anything technical or technology, they are the ones who have a lot to do with it. You know what I'm saying? We're in the age of Aquarius. You're dealing with air, right? And with Aquarius, they like they always know different things. They are the researchers, but also even if you think about satellites that they have, sailor lights or have antennas, right? When they have it outside, a lot of those antennas is able to pull in signals to, you know what I'm saying, to transmute information or appliances for the works. I remember one of my friends, they're in Aquarius, right, and they had like an Xbox, and the power system of the Xbox wasn't working correctly, right, and I was telling them what was going on. It was like, it sounds like you're having something with the power brick, the power block, and I was like, that's exactly what I'm having, right. So it's like they know, they have the knowing of technology, which is still associated with air, right? But then if you look at it in the planets, you have Mercury. Mercury deals with communication, and then Jupiter deals with expansion. So if you have communication and expansion, that all deals with the aspect of dealing with air, right? So now, um, and ways of working with, what are some of the ways of working with the element of air, right? Breathing meditations. Just like if you think about a scuba diver, in order for them to swim underwater and to breathe underwater, they have air tanks. Sometimes they may have one, or sometimes they may have two. So this is like an artificial lungs for them to actually go underwater, for them to actually breathe, right? So, but when doing breathing meditations, what you're initially doing is opening up your heart chakra. Each chakras are connected to the elements, right? And your heart is connected to your throat and your lungs. And when you're breathing, what happen when you're breathing, in a sense of when you're slowing things down and you're inhaling and exhaling, what you're doing, you're really you're actually excuse me, you're actually controlling the way you're breathing, which is you're controlling the amount of air that's going in your body and expelling out of your body, right? So, doing breathing meditations. Um, some of the different stones that people will associate or use would be clear quartz. Some people will use malachite, right? Um, a stone that's very powerful that actually open up your heart chakra and you can actually feel it being open is moldavite. It's a little piece of stone. You can get them in big different sizes, but it's about the size of like your pinky nail, all right? You know what I'm saying? And if you get this particular stone and you put it in your hand, you put it within your heart chakra, you will actually feel like the opening of your heart chakra is opening up. But it's a very powerful stone. It's not one of those stones to take lightly. You know what I'm saying? If you're not custom, or you know what I'm saying, have experience with that stone, it can really open up a lot of energies and feelings and traumas. It basically opens you up to everything, right? It opens you up to different traumas or different things, and you will actually, some people actually, may start crying from opening of using it, because remember, when you, like, for instance, they say when you're clearing the air, a lot of things be exposed. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're clearing the air, even if you think about opera singers, they have to actually know how to control their breathing to speak or to sing, right? So doing that actually helps deep breathing using those different stones. But also lighting incense, you know what I'm saying? And using incense to actually communicate with the element of air. When it's windy outside, even now, we in the winter season, the air is clear, it's a lot cooler. The air is a lot thinner, but you can also, going out in nature and going into the air, to breathe in that clean air, right? But when you're breathing, like for instance, there's a particular people that practice yoga, but that's actually, if you think about Kemet, you would see the hieroglyphs where they do certain poses, and those different poses opens up different energy sectors in their body, but it's also associated with the four elements, right? And there's a particular yoga pose where it's called the upward dog, where you're keeping your lower part of the body to the ground, and then you're stretching your upper body upward like this. And what you're doing, you're actually pulling and forcing more oxygen within your body. And what begin to happen, because I started doing yoga, what would begin to happen, you will start to feel a stretch in your body, and also your body will start to shake. And when it shakes, what it's doing is actually breaking up rhythmic, I'm not saying it right, but it actually break up stagnant energy in your energy sectors to actually open them up. And a lot of times when you're breathing, what you're really doing, you're actually having an intimate encounter with air. And a lot of times what this help you get clarity. This help you have a balanced mind. This actually open up ways to having clear sight on something that you're trying to work on, right? And let's look at it in the aspect also, if you're having relationship problems, you're in a relationship. Sometimes it don't have to be uh, a relationship that's outside of, like, because everybody have different forms of relationships. But let's say if there's a miscommunication, right? And you're not seeing eye to eye, and and y'all really need to express, different things that may be taking place, right? So remember, when you're dealing with the air energy, the directional would be east, right? It would be east. And um, if depending on where you're sitting at, or depending on where you're at, and you're getting ready to have a meeting, it's very good that you clear the air. You know what I'm saying? That's where incense come in. Some people like to use frankincense and myrrh, to clean out the energies. And then also you have lavender. Lavender is very good. It's associated with the air element. But when you're using lavender, what begins to happen, if you have lavender incense, or sometimes you take a lavender bath, it tends to bring a calming sensation. And a lot of times, when you're not able to communicate um, calmly, you know what I'm saying? When the conversation is really uproar, it tends to get out of hand. So a lot of times, if you're using the aspect of lavender, what happens, it will calm everything. And when everything's calm, you're able to have a clear mind, a clear head to speak your truth. That's why they say that's clear the air. Or you may hear people say, speak from the heart, right? So if you're going to have any type of sense of communication, dealing with your spouse, dealing with family members, it's very important to set the environment or clear the air before you start, whatever you want to talk about. But also, if you could position, a lot of times, if you have incense, you will want to actually put those incense in the direction of the east. And when you're doing this, you're actually inviting the energy of the east, or dealing with communication, to actually be open, right? That's why, if you ever notice, when somebody's getting ready to have a meeting, whether it's on a job or whether it's at home, people like to tend to drink coffee, right? And coffee is like a stimulant that actually warms up the throat, and for that person to actually speak on whatever topic they want to talk about. So you could also, when you're clearing the air, you have your incense, and then you have it direction in the east, having a cup of coffee. And this actually, like I said, again, it actually opens up your throat for you to actually speak clearly and get your point across, right? And in the aspect, like I said, when you're dealing with relationships, you have Gemini, which is the thinking, which also represents like friendships, and then you have Libra, which deals with marriage, relationships. So when you're combining both of those aspects of that air energy together, you're connecting with the air energy, right? So that's an aspect of what you can use to actually work with the air element. A particular spirit that you can actually use would be Archangel Raphael. Raphael um, deals with healing, but also deals with the aspect of the heart chakra, because he's the direction would be east, right? If you think about, Archangel Raphael, the next one would be Saint Lazarus, and then you also have Legba or Elegua, the communicators, right? Dealing with the air element. So that's just something I want to share real quick on how to work with the air element, and hoping that what I'm saying will actually help you on working with the air element. So this is Ogula Ra. Peace.